Hi everybody, Stephanie Kraft here. If you're already familiar with my channel, you know that I make videos on a variety of spiritual topics, and don't worry, I'm still going to be doing that. I will still make videos on the other topics, and today is a different topic. It's the first time I'm talking about this, and it's about the keto diet, which is really more than a diet. It's a lifestyle, it's a way of living, and it's a way of eating. I recently began the keto diet about actually exactly 27 days ago. And after 25 days, I weighed myself for the first time and I had lost 9 pounds. I'm not doing it only for weight loss. I am doing it for weight loss, and I have a little bit more to go for my goal, and it's very easy, but there are many other reasons that I'm doing this new way of living, and it is my new lifestyle. I am so excited about it, which is why I'm actually making a video about it, because I want to share this with everybody in the world, because I think it's a very therapeutic and healing way of eating and living. And I want to give you a little bit more of my background because, you know, I have a very diverse background. The reason I want to share my background is because I want to actually coach people with keto. And so eventually I'm going to begin offering keto coaching pretty soon, but I want to do this for at least 2 or 3 months myself before I start working with clients, at least 2 months. So I've got another month to go on that. But basically, the reason that I can assist people with this is that I have a master's of science in health fitness management / health promotion management. And I worked in the corporate wellness field. I worked in the fitness industry, and I also worked as a health educator for 5 hospital systems. So I've worked extensively in nutrition. Oh, I even worked for, I actually used to write nutritional policy for Congress, which was a whole nother story, because coming from the place where I am, which is real authentic nutrition, isn't exactly the same thing as what Congress wanted to see. So that's a whole nother story. But the point that I'm making is that I have an extensive career in health, fitness, wellness, health promotion, and a very scientific background with the Master's of Science. And then after graduate school, I went on for postgraduate studies in nutrition, anatomy and physiology. And some of the coursework I took in graduate school was biochemistry, exercise physiology, nutrition, nutritional counseling. So I just wanted to put that out there so that you didn't think that I'm just some buddy off the street who wants to suddenly start talking about a new diet without any knowledge. So that is my educational background. And so let's see, this is just an introductory video to talk about my journey, to talk about the keto diet itself and how it can be beneficial. So I'll just talk a little bit about what the keto diet is to begin with, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I have seen on my journey for myself. The keto diet keto is short for ketosis. So normally, if we're eating a few times a day, like 3 times a meal, at regular intervals or frequently throughout the day, we're constantly in sugar burning mode. So when we eat food and we eat carbohydrates, our body is always burning blood sugar, which is glucose. And we never actually get into fat burning mode while we're burning sugar or glucose. And so the ketosis is actually when your body is in a state of burning fat. Now, the body can operate very well on fat as fuel, The brain can operate with burning fat as its energy source, or glucose. So, but the reason that somebody might want to be in ketosis on the keto diet, for example, is because of the benefits. So the most obvious and pronounced benefit to begin with is weight loss, because if you're burning fat as your fuel, you're going to end up burning your own fat stores. So you're going to lose body fat. Even though in my first 25 days I lost 9 pounds, probably a lot of that was water weight. Because one of the things that happens when you begin the keto diet is that you're reducing inflammation, and your body is holding on to a lot of water when you have inflammation. Everybody has inflammation because of the foods that we eat, and by shifting into this way of eating, you're going to reduce inflammation. This way of eating, so the keto diet, for example, is very high in fat, so about 75 to 80% fat. So let's say 75% fat, only 5% carbohydrates. So that would be 20 grams or less of carbohydrates per day, and moderate protein. So that would be 20%. Yeah, just did the math in my head, but basically 20% or 15% protein, 75 to 80% fat, 5% carbs. So you're basically eliminating all carb foods. There are naturally occurring carbs in foods like nuts and vegetables, and so you're actually eliminating carbohydrate foods from your diet completely. Now, what this does is this shifts you into the state of ketosis over a period of time. Actually, I didn't really want to go into all the details about this diet in this video, but these are the basics. And so after eating this way for a period of time, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, your body is going to get fat adapted or keto adapted. This means that your main source of fuel for your body is fat. And so in order to get there, you do have to have a high fat diet to begin with. And also, while you're after you're fat adapted, you can slightly reduce your fat intake. You might be able to increase your carbohydrate intake just a little bit, but it's going to remain very low carb. And there's something called carb cycling, or introducing carbohydrates periodically, which is also another topic that I'm not going to get into, but there's a lot to learn, and I am very knowledgeable about this topic. So if anybody wants to learn, just know that I'm going to be offering probably some introductory courses or videos or seminars that are, explaining it more in depth, and then also some private or group coaching. So if anybody wants to do this diet and you want a little bit of hand-holding or information, or you want to be able to ask questions or get support along the way, that's my plan. I haven't put any program into place, but I'm just making this introductory video to share the beginning of my journey and what has happened so far. So why a person would do this diet is not only for weight loss, it's for so many other reasons, which I'm also doing it for all of these other reasons. I mentioned inflammation. So the inflammation causes pain in the body. It causes other things as well, but there's a huge reduction of inflammation when you're eating the keto way. There's so many benefits. All right, I'll just talk personally, and then I'll talk about some other things that in the population, in the studies, we see healing by being on the keto diet. So starting with inflammation, personally, I was having sacroiliac SI joint pain, and it was bad, and it was prolonged. Okay, it was like years, but it had gotten much worse in the past couple of years. It was constant. It was very uncomfortable. The SI joint is right there where your hip joint meets the sacrum in the back. So I had some sacral pain and that sacroiliac joint back there, and then some pain sort of radiating through my hip. It was just uncomfortable. Well, after, I don't even know when my pain went away, but very quickly, I would say I have zero pain. I've had zero pain for, gosh, I haven't even kept track, at least 2 weeks. So 2 weeks into my keto diet, I had no more pain in my body. So this means that the inflammation reduced significantly. I also had so if you have in your cervical spine, if it's out of alignment, usually your sacrum and your hips are out of alignment. So these are usually coincide. So I was also having crunchiness in my cervical spine. Like it would constantly be like cracking and crunching. I knew that wasn't right, but I didn't really know what to do about it. It's gone. All of my crunchiness in my neck has disappeared. All of the pain in my hips, any imbalance that I was feeling, feels that it's in alignment because I'm having zero issues with it. So that's inflammation. And I know this because, it's true, but also years ago, I went to a chiropractor and I was like, why do I have to keep coming back? Why do my bones keep on getting out of alignment? Or why do I feel like my spine is like so uncomfortable, or there's pain in my bones? And he said, sugar. And I was shocked because I didn't know that eating sugar could cause pain in your bones, could cause your bones to keep on getting out of alignment. It's all about inflammation. So the ketogenic diet actually began because it's a medical treatment for epilepsy in children, and it works. And so this diet is extremely healing, therapeutic. It also balances your hormones. It actually cures type 2 diabetes. It cures insulin resistance. It balances your blood sugar. It helps your immune system. It actually is healing for your brain. Almost 6 years ago, or 7 years ago, I had a traumatic brain injury. I was sitting at a red light and a car crashed into me from behind at full speed, causing my car to crash into the car in front of me. My car was crushed and totaled, and I suffered a very bad concussion. With that concussion, I lost my memory, my personality, my speech, my language, verbal retrieval of words. I was using all the wrong words, didn't even know it. My speech was slurred significantly, and my writing ability, my math ability, even movement. I was moving in slow motion. I was numb, my body from the waist up, lost all feeling. And so I was extremely incapacitated while my brain was healing. Obviously, I retrieved my faculties again, but what I have been noticing lately is an extreme memory loss, or not complete memory loss, but issues with my memory, remembering. And I attributed this to perhaps my brain injury, but it's kind of weird because it only started happening more recently. So I thought it could also be a combination of age. I am not sure, but with the keto diet, my clarity, my focus, my energy, my brain functioning has heightened significantly. My mood is amazing. I feel great. My sleep is excellent. And so what more could you want? I'm so happy that I started this. I will never go back to eating any other way. Fits me personally extremely well. I'm I'm going to keep going. I want to lose more weight. The other thing is really interesting about when you're doing keto is that you don't lose muscle, even if you're not exercising. So I was recently in an accident, not a car accident, but another. I fell and I got very wounded. And so I haven't been able to exercise for the past, was it 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks. And I've been noticing that my muscles are like either I'm gaining muscle mass or maintaining. So I have been working out with a personal trainer, but not in the past 2 or 3 weeks since I've been doing keto during this time. And I'm noticing that my muscles are like really maintaining or even increasing, and which is, people do report this as a thing, because what happens is that on the keto diet, while you're burning fat, you're actually retaining muscle. It's really interesting if you study the science behind it. Let me just see if I wrote some notes here. So people heal cancer with the keto diet. I actually know somebody who did. But if you start researching this, and you will read that, I'm just going to repeat some of these things. It cures, even epilepsy, it treats epilepsy, seizures are reduced, because what's happening is you're actually feeding the brain in a better way than if it's working on glucose, because and the body also, when it becomes keto adapted and you're burning fat as fuel, you're not hungry, you have more energy, you're balancing the hormones. And so people use this diet to cure cancer, to cure or treat epilepsy. Again, people eliminate type 2 diabetes, they eliminate insulin resistance, they lose significant amounts of weight. People lose, in like less than a year, people are losing 100 pounds, in a year to 150 pounds. There's no deprivation. The food is delicious. You're eating regular, normal, whole, healthy foods. And it's so easy. It's the easiest thing I've ever done. And it's the most natural thing I've ever done. It feels completely right in every way. I feel no deprivation. I have had zero cravings. I don't ever usually crave anything, but you might think not eating carbs, people would crave. And yeah, other people do. But luckily for me, I haven't, and I don't. If I do want chocolate, I just eat 100% dark chocolate. Most people might not like that because it's bitter and there's no sugar at all, but I like it. I was already eating like 88%, and that was already sweet for me. So I'm not a sweet eater. I used to be, but that went away. So that's my update on my keto journey, the beginning of it. And like my pants are literally falling off of me because I'm getting so much thinner. Oh, let me talk for one moment about pounds weight loss. I'm in a group and people post their before and after pictures, and they write comments about that. And so many people have said, women especially, that they've gone down 4 or 5 sizes. They've lost many, many inches. They'll post a before and after picture, and the after picture, the before pictures, they're very overweight. The after pictures, they're very, thin or lean. And they say that they didn't lose any pounds. And the reason, and it's shocking, right? Because you keep stepping on the scale, you're not losing, but you've gone down 4 or 5 sizes. And so why is that? That is because you're, in the beginning especially, you're losing a lot of water. And the other thing is that's from inflammation, but also fat has more volume in the mass of it than muscle. Muscle is much more condensed and dense and weighs more than fat, but it's smaller. And so if you're reducing your fat cells are actually shrinking. And so it's interesting because it's not so much about the pounds lost than it is about like actually your body shrinking in size. So if you do start this diet and anything like that ever does happen to you, don't freak out. You're going to more likely use, your pair of jeans to see how thin you're getting. So that's it for now. I will most likely make my next video in a month, because then I will have been on it. Well, today's day number 27 for me. I will have been on it, in 2 months if I wait a month, and I'll update you there on how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and also how I have decided to work with clients as a keto coach. I am a certified I'm a certified health coach, but I've been studying the field of nutrition, and I've been working in the field of nutrition actually too for like 30 years. So more like maybe 26, but yeah, that long professionally and with my education. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, stephaniecraft444@gmail.com. There's nothing on my website about this right now, but I'll probably be putting that up soon or eventually. So stay tuned. If you want to send me an email because you want to get on my list for this type of work, go ahead. I'll put you in my keto file and revisit that when I'm starting to offer help. And good luck if you decide to join. Do this lifestyle. There's plenty of resources. Go on YouTube. I would recommend Dr. Berg, B-E-R-G, and Thomas DeLauer. That's D-E-L-A-U-E-R. Those two people are wonderful. There's a lot of educational videos on YouTube, and you can learn all about it, all the details. You can get started, and we can do our journey together if you want. Okay, see you later.